I spent 1 month in Dubai, and here's everything you need to know, including how much I spent the entire month, literally down to the categories. I'm gonna sort it all, and even I was shocked. So grab your popcorn because it's about to get real good. My name is Lauren. I've been traveling full-time while working remotely, and every month I go to a new city. Now, the cost that I'm gonna mention and the style of travel that I do isn't necessarily luxury or budget. I'd say it's like right down the line. I'm living my regular life while still working full-time, just in a different city. I didn't know what to expect of Dubai. Honestly, the only thing I knew was like the general connotation that everyone has, that it's fancy, flashy, and pricey. And when I got here, I realized that wasn't the case. It's nice, of course, and you see the buildings, the cars, like the luxury, you see it. But there's also another side to Dubai that doesn't get talked about. As someone who grew up in South Florida, I think it reminds me so much of home in the fact that it's a melting pot of a ton of different cultures that have moved here to call this place home. 97% of the population in Dubai isn't local. It's actually people from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Iran that make up about 70% of that 97% chart. And there's only 8% which are Western, which are considered to be Europeans, North Americans, and South Americans. And not everything here is a luxury. There's a lot of people living a totally normal, very frugal lifestyle. They're not driving around in Lambos, but rather they've migrated here to Dubai in order to create a better life for themselves. Right before Dubai, I had spent 1 week in Marrakesh. By the way, that video with the full cost breakdown of what I spent is also up on the channel up here somewhere. It'll pop up. And obviously there they speak Arabic, so I was already learning phrases, and I thought when I was coming here I was going to continue to be able to practice and learn more of my words in Arabic. However, to my surprise, everyone, absolutely every single person here in Dubai speaks English. I mean, it makes total sense, but I had never thought about it before coming here. Since it's such a big melting pot, literally think like New York style. There's people from all over the world. Everyone gets around in English. While ChatGPT and Google are going to tell you the same 5 things to do that basically show up on every other vlog and blog online, which are going to Atlantis, seeing the aquarium, the underwater zoo, going to the Dubai Mall, seeing the Burj Khalifa, seeing the Burj Al Arab, which is like the 7-star hotel that people talk about, going to the Miracle Garden. I'm going to give you 5 non-touristy things that are actually worth going to. Hands down, coming in at number 1, the coolest thing I experienced here in Dubai this entire month were the dining experiences. There's many ways to experience the touristy attractions. I always like going the least touristy way as possible, while obviously still seeing like these huge things that are so important and so cool about Dubai. I'm not gonna leave without seeing the Burj Khalifa. However, I always like finding a cool way of experiencing the thing. So for example, instead of taking the normal walking tour around the Burj Al Arab, which is that ginormous hotel that's known to be like the only 7-star hotel in the world, well, instead of doing that, I decided to book the nicest dining experience at Pier Chick, and you sit outside and you see, you're as close to the hotel as you can be. You have this like amazing fine dining experience. The food is delicious, super, super worth the price. And same thing with the Burj Khalifa. Instead of booking the ticket days in advance, like waiting in line to get that same photo that everybody else has, I decided to book another dining experience at C'est La Vie, which is a very high restaurant, literally right next to the Burj. So you're eating and you have the best view of the Burj, literally from like the 57th floor, like something like that. It was wild. So you have the full view, but you get to experience it in a different way. And I actually even found out the ultimate hack for dining experiences in Dubai in order to literally pay like half the price, and I'm gonna leave that video up over here. Activity number 2, same thing with the Atlantis. While everyone just goes around to walk around and take pictures, I recommend booking a day pass and either going to the water park or also booking one of their restaurants. They even have like a tea experience in the afternoon that's super, super nice. And you just get to experience these places like in a different way. Coming in at my top activity number 3, jet skis at sunrise or sunset. You pick whether you're a morning person or a night person, but the view is insane. You can also see the Atlantis, you can see the Burj Al Arab from the water, and that's a fun experience. Speaking about being on the water, there's number 4, day passes to pool clubs or beach clubs. Obviously, Dubai is hot, and one of the main activities here is either going to the beach, going to the pool. All these really nice hotels have day passes, so you don't have to be staying there to actually access the pool or the beach. 90% of them actually have these day passes, and some of them are fully redeemable or partly redeemable where you pay it and then you spend it on food or drinks while you're there. Some of my favorite that are actually worth it would be Veracity, which is actually free at the W. Cloud 22, this one is in Atlantis. It's pretty pricey, but the view, you're at the top and it's insane. There's Nikki Beach, Tago Mago, or Drift Beach Club. And I highly recommend also being on the lookout for activities happening at the beach clubs, because that way you get to like experience something fun and unique happening there while also going to these insane locations, because it's Dubai. Like the beach clubs aren't just any beach club. Each one has like its own unique theme and like ambience. They're very nice. So for example, at the Drift Beach Club, they have the wildest workout class that you do in the water, and I booked that and it was totally worth it. Last but not least, something that you cannot miss, going to the Dubai Creek Harbor. This is the most insane view of the city, of like everything in Dubai that you're going to get, and then the sunset coming down. Like it's a must-do experience at sunset. And then I recommend going to Soul Green for dinner on weekends, like Fridays. They have like a DJ and you get like the full city view. It's worth it. Everything else I recommend doing that's actually worth it and not a tourist trap will be inside the Dubai travel guide. I got catfished, or at least I should have done more research when picking where to stay. If I'm coming to Dubai again for a short stay, hands down, I would stay at the Dubai Marine or near Kite Beach, because it's honestly my favorite beach, or City Walk. There's so many little neighborhoods around Dubai. JLT, GVC, Media City, Sports City, Internet City, Production City, like the list goes on and on. But one thing you have to know about Dubai is things are far away from each other. I know on the map it looks like it's right there. No, it's far away from each other. And driving anywhere here means there's traffic. And when I say traffic, I mean worse than Miami traffic. So if you have to choose whether increasing your budget and staying somewhere a bit close or staying further and spending less, I think honestly go higher, because you're going to have a much better experience. And I wish somebody would have told me this before I actually booked a full month. The Airbnb I picked now, which is where I am, is in JVC, and it's about like a 30-minute drive from anything. So of course I had to get a car. 30 minutes in Dubai actually means more like an hour when there's traffic. On the Dubai travel guide, you'll actually find a curated list of hotels and apartment stays that now, after spending a full month here, knowing the location, like actually seeing the hotel and what each area looks like, I would actually stay at those places on that list. What surprised me the most about Dubai, which I wasn't expecting, is how safe it is. And everyone talks about it, but it's something that you don't really understand until you're actually here. Literally, people leave cars open, house open, things anywhere, and nothing's going to happen. It's just like a high level of respect, and that's really nice to have. For women, they say it's the safest place you can be in, which actually the first days I was like, are you sure? Because the area where this Airbnb is has a high level of construction, and walking around, I would just feel like the men just like staring. But one thing that will never ever happen in Dubai, like you're never going to experience somebody catcalling, you're never going to experience somebody coming up to you or like asking for money. Like none of that happens here. I really appreciate it, because obviously I'm in a new city every month and I've had to deal with all of that. This is a part of my travels that I actually love sharing, because I remember when I was planning on traveling to different places, I would always watch these videos and be like, okay, but how much does this cost? Like, why isn't nobody talking about what this costs, how much you're spending? Like, how is it actually possible to be doing it? So if you're like me and like seeing the cost breakdown, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because YouTube analytics actually tells me exactly how many people have subscribed from each video. And if you subscribe from this video, then I know that it's because you want to keep seeing the cost breakdown for every city that I visit. I always like starting off with the Airbnb cost, because obviously it's the biggest cost, and I think it's the most important cost when deciding, okay, should I travel there? How long should I spend there? And all those kinds of things. So drum roll. This Airbnb that you're seeing right here in JVC, I have to do a disclaimer. I really think you can get something for this amount or less in a much better place. And I know that because I handpicked those places and I put them inside the Dubai travel guide. So for the Airbnb, we have a total of $2,660.65. Next, we're going to the activities, and that total comes out to $320.99. This is jet ski, desert tour, the water workout, and things like that I did this month here. We have beauty, $6.81. This is just Gabe's barbershop. So that's actually a pretty good price. Car rental. Like I mentioned, this Airbnb is very far away. You need a car. Doing what we have done in taxis would have been insane because you literally spend hours and hours in the car. If you stay closer, like in the Dubai Marina and that area, it is a bit walkable and there is the metro, but I really think you're still going to be spending on taxis. So if you are staying long-term, I just recommend going with the car rental route. And that total came out to $902.73. Now, that is including like a $500 deposit, which we are supposed to get back 30 days after. So I'll keep you posted on that. And if I like the experience at the end with the car rental, then you'll see them on the travel guide. But if I didn't like them, they're not gonna be in there. Cash, $50. This is definitely a card-based society. You do not need cash for absolutely anything. Like even parking has been with cards. So you're fine having no cash. Dining, like I mentioned, dining is a huge experience and it's more like different experiences that we like going to, not just like having a regular lunch every day, but actually going to nice places and seeing it as like, oh, a full experience that we're having. And that came out to $1,200.97. Everything you see here are costs for 2 people and everything is in US dollars. Gas and automotive, obviously for the car rental, $66.47. I was surprised. Gas here is very, very good price. Grocery, $303 with 01 cents. Also pretty good price compared to the other months because we usually spend a lot more in groceries, but since this is a studio apartment, we decided to do more of our lunches out, which I'm gonna talk about at the end. Laundry, $54.03. We sent our clothes out like maybe 3 times. Parking, $19.60. Parking is, I wouldn't say like a huge hassle, but it is something you have to keep in mind, not just because of the price. Like a lot of places have free parking here, like the malls, if you spend 2 hours, or like if you go to a restaurant, they'll like validate it for you. But the fact like you always have to be thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go here, where's the closest parking? It's that type of city. Shopping, $231.40. This I think is mostly like Amazon things because Amazon Prime does work here in Dubai, which I was having a blast with, like put me and Amazon together. And last but not least, taxis. This was just the first few days when we were just like getting to know the area before we had rented the car, and that came out to $63.29, bringing the total of a full month stay. I was honestly shocked by this price. With activities, with the Airbnb, with absolutely everything for 2 people to $5,879 with 95 cents. It's literally so close to what we spent 1 month in Lisbon. That video I'm gonna leave up here if you wanna check it out. But I was shocked. I think it's a really good price for 2 people for a full month here. But I do have to add that I think there's a reason why the price ended up being like good, reasonable, very similar to what we've spent in every other place that we go to, even though this is a city that has the connotation of being fancy, flashy, and pricey. The reality is the first day we went out to breakfast, I got an avocado toast, Gabe got a sandwich, and the total came out to $52. And it was just like a regular cafe that we found for breakfast the first day here. And when that happened, I was like, oh, we're used to European prices. Like everywhere you go out in Europe, like food is normal amount, like 30, 40. So I was like, okay, for a full meal. Like this was just breakfast. So I was like, okay, maybe we have to like make a plan. Then that same day, we went to get groceries and we got like the minimal things to have breakfast the next day. So we got like eggs, bread, yogurt. We literally walked out with max 5 things and that total came out to $70. And then that's when I was like, oh, okay, maybe people were right about what they were saying about Dubai. I know because I've been traveling for the past 2 years, like we've been in every type of country that you can imagine, and we always stay a full month. So just like we did Italy, we did Spain, we did Colombia, we did Brazil, we did Asia, like we've been all over the place. So I know that honestly, I get that there's like that connotation that things are pricey, but I know that's not always the case. So I was like, there has to be a better grocery store. Like maybe this isn't like Europe where you just walk into your neighborhood grocery store. So I did my research and that's exactly the case, because what we spent on 4 items actually ended up being the total when we did a full grocery store run, but going to the right grocery store. Like I actually researched, okay, what's a good grocery store that the locals are going to that's actually good price? And I found like 3 different options, which of course I'm gonna add to the Dubai travel guide. So making a plan when you come to Dubai, I think is honestly totally worth it, also because there's tons of experiences. Like everything here is an experience. We sat down, I created a list of, okay, what activities do I think I want to do? And let me research what the reviews are. So I wanted to do the jet skis, the desert tour, and then like this dining in the sky where you're in a hot air balloon literally having dinner. And then I read reviews and it was like, it's not worth it. Like the food was terrible. And I was like, oh, okay. Thankfully, I read it because in a place like Dubai where you have so many flashy things for tourists, not everything is going to be worth it. And that literally saved us like $400 from a dinner that we could spend in another place and have a much better experience. So is it more or less than what you thought a full month in Dubai would be? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so I know you want to see more cost breakdowns. And stay tuned because the next destination starts with a B. And I know it is a destination that a lot of people have either been to or want to go to. So obviously I'm going to do the full cost breakdown for that place too.